Welcome to 504 More. I'm Jonathan Bulott, your host here today, and I'm joined by the newest member of the New Orleans Pelicans. It's the man only known as Trey Murphy. How are you doing today, Trey?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
And man, you've had such an impressive stretch of games in the summer league right after the draft. But I want to go ahead and start off today by talking about your college experience, because we all know the road that you took to get to the NBA. You started off at Rice. You made that transfer and ended up at Virginia. What was the ultimate decision behind making that transfer?
Really, I just felt like it was just time for me to make a new move, and had to make a decision for myself and wanted to really just strive for my goals. And I felt like me leaving Rice was the best option for me. And so during that process, I was thinking to myself, I need to become a better defender, and for me to become a better NBA prospect, because the ultimate goal is to be in the NBA. And so uh, choosing Virginia was like choosing the best school for that. And so I think it really prepared me a lot for the NBA.
What was one of your favorite memories of you playing at Virginia? And also, I know there was a lot of critics coming out around draft time talking about that you should have stayed back another year to stay at Virginia. What do you think about that decision now, looking back on the whole draft process in general?
Yeah, I would say my favorite moment at Virginia definitely has to be like winning the ACC regular season at Louisville. When, going into the game, or at least going into that day, we thought there was no chance of us, winning that title, because Florida State had to lose to Notre Dame. And, they ended up losing to them. And so then it was in our hands to win the game in order to win the regular season. So really good feeling from that. And, for the people that said I should have stayed back, I'm sure they're regretting their words now, because, you like going 17-1, that's something you can't pass up on. And two, like, I understand it's summer league, but, playing really well and showing like, yeah, I deserve to be here, and I, belong on this stage is something that I feel like people are seeing now.
When I was researching you throughout this whole interview process, I found a couple different quotes from the people over at Clutch Points, and it really drove home why a lot of Pelicans fans love you as a player. The quote here says directly from you: "There was not a single workout where someone outplayed me during the draft process. I feel like I was the best player on the floor, and as workouts progressed, I feel like I got better and better." So tell me about the whole pre-draft process and how all these workouts went down, and also how you feel your 3-and-D tendencies and play style can help suit the Pelicans going into the regular season.
Yeah, pre-draft process was super fun, and one of the best summers I've ever had. I played a lot of basketball, and working out in Miami, I got a lot better. And then through like the pre-draft workouts, my first one in San Antonio wasn't my best one, probably one of my worst ones in all honesty. But uh, it was like that moment where I realized, wow, like I'm really in this, and I'm really like about to do this stuff. And so, it built my confidence. Like my confidence built as workouts progressed, and it was a lot of fun, and they were all like really similar. They were about the same, and so I kind of knew like the plan and like the formula uh, to being successful in these workouts. And so I had a lot of fun, and I was really enjoying my time. And overall, like they say, the pre-draft process is really like tiring, and it was, but I mean that's mainly because of traveling. But the workouts are super fun. But the whole 3-and-D category, I'm not a fan of, because
Really?
like, yeah, the three part is like, all right, it says like I only shoot threes, and it's like I feel like I can do a lot more on offense than that. Like I feel like I can get to the cup. I feel like I can distribute and just do other things other than just catch and shoot threes. And then like the defensive part, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like I could, come in, give spaces Zion and Bi, and hit and open threes, and then like be able to defend at a high level as well.
I mean, you proved that in summer league. You played absolutely out of your mind, and you took home all summer league team honors. And on top of that, you also had an absolute baptism of a dunk against Chicago. And I mean, that was absolutely insane. So take me through summer league, the undefeated run that y'all had, getting to play under Coach Willie Green and Coach D'Antoni at first, and what it's like transitioning from that college style of play into more of an NBA style?
I can't lie. I mean, going into my first summer league game, I was a little anxious because I didn't get to practice for 2 days because the trade didn't go through. And so I didn't have any live practice with the team until like playing in the game. And that was my first time like competing with them live. And so I was a little anxious at first, but as like the game progressed, I figured out like my teammates and figured out what we needed to do. And it was just so much fun out there because there was just so much space on the floor. And I feel like I was able to just do more offensively. Uh, it was really fun. And plus Coach Green, he's a player's coach, I would say. And he stays really calm and really even the entire game. And that's really is really good playing for guys like that because there's so many other things you have to stress out about on the court. If you have your coach like yelling and screaming at you every single play, then it just adds even more tension and more stress. And it's like you just don't need that.
And the fans, they loved you because of your high motor during the summer league stretch, but also I feel like they loved you even more because of how openly you accepted New Orleans on draft night and throughout the draft process. Once you ended up getting the pick, I mean, there was so much love coming from fans because you accepted New Orleans. And historically, not a lot of players accept the franchise for what they are in the community that surrounds them. So how do you feel about the fans' reception of you after draft night, knowing that you were going to be a Pelican and be a part of something that's going to be a long-term stretch with the organization?
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans is a great city, and I visited for my workout, and I didn't really get to see much of it. But I mean, one, I feel like that also is attributed to my upbringing, and you're just appreciative for anything that you receive. And so I could have been drafted anywhere, and I feel like I'll be appreciative of the city that I'm going to. But I mean, New Orleans showed me the most love as a front office, and so I knew that going into the draft, and just really excited for the opportunity because I know that they really believe in me. I feel like that's the most important thing is having an organization that really believes in you. And then the city overall, I can tell that is, they're really strong in their sports and they love their athletes. And so I would just love to be a part of that and a part of a fan base.
And the offseason, it's just about wrapped up. The Pelicans, they had a revamp of their roster of sorts, bringing in guys like Devontae Graham and Jonas Valanciunas, among others, as well as re-signing guys like Josh Hart and Willie Hernan Gomez. So how are you feeling about the roster as it's formulated right now going into what's going to be preseason and off-season workouts?
Pretty good. No, pretty good. I feel like we've definitely made changes. And I feel like is making changes around our centerpieces, definitely. And so I feel like there's opportunity for me to really make a lot of impact on this team this year, and I'm super excited for that.
Who's somebody that you're anticipating matching up against once the regular season kicks off and you get to see all these different faces that you've watched on TV for so long, but now you get to actually check them up 1v1?
There's so many guys. I can't lie. Like I watch a lot of film. That's something I really pride myself on, and you know I think the person I'm most excited to see is probably KD. In all honesty, because I've watched his film ever since he was a rookie, and being able to go against him and you know in these games would just be really really special. And I think that'll be the time where I realize, wow, I'm really in the NBA because I don't think it's really hit me yet. In all honesty,
Well, what's your personal goals for the rookie year?
I would say my personal goals is all rookie team. I want to win a lot of games, and I don't know exactly what the number would be for that. I want to go to the playoffs, and I really want to make an impact on this team. I just feel like you know if you really set your goals high and you might fall a little short, and you're still at a pretty good mark. And so I'm pretty excited, and I think I can do a lot this rookie season to contribute.
You seem like a guy that watches a lot of NBA basketball, given you're a guy that's always deep in the film room. But I like to ask this to the guys that I talk to for my interviews when it relates to their organization or their team. So who would you put on your Pelicans / New Orleans Hornets Mount Rushmore?
Chris Paul and AD have to be up there. Drew Holiday.
The fourth one's the hard one. That's the one where it gets you.
Yeah, because I feel like those are three almost pretty obvious ones. I always struggle with my fourth one. Like every time I the Mount Rushmore, like it's always a fourth one that gets me tripped up, no matter what it is.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of different guys you could say. I mean, you could even go the coaching route. I mean, a lot of people have love for Monty Williams down here.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a lot of different players that a lot of people don't talk about that much anymore, including guys like Peja Stojakovic, David West. I mean, I can go on and on with those guys, but I mean, for right now, we'll take the three because that's good enough for right now.
Hold up, I need to figure out a fourth.
You got this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want I feel like Monty is also a pretty good one too because he's such a good dude, and I feel like that's where he really found himself and really figured out. All right, he can really get into this coaching stuff, and then he really exploded in Phoenix, but I definitely could say Monty because I feel like that's where he was really came into his own in a way.
Trey, before I go ahead and let you go, is there anything that you want to say to the fans that are watching at home right now?
I think one thing that I'll say is that, I'm super appreciative and super blessed to be a New Orleans Pelican. And I'm so excited to play in these games. And I really want to see the fans out there this year. I feel like that'll be something that'll have the team really fired up and really feed off their energy in order to win games and, just be really exciting. I feel like we'll have a really exciting team this year and give the fans something to look forward to.